folks, and welcome to another day in the Milky Way. And tonight we got a great show where we're going to be looking at pictures tonight and seeing all kinds of Indian from way back in the day with my co-host David Null, Hawkeye Two Feathers. Welcome, and I'm glad you're here.
And welcome as always to all of you. We welcome you with the love and the honor of the infinite creator. And we continue to pray each and every day that each and every one of you will continue to learn how to accept and receive the knowledge, the healing, the wisdom, and the many blessings from the universe. And today was the day the aliens was supposed to come.
According to Cliff High, anyway. And Cliff High was supposed to know. He's supposed to know, but maybe we should have looked towards the Indians. And there's Nina the Mystic. Don't worry, tomorrow or Thursday night, join me on Stupid Talk and Stupid Talk Daily, everyone. Me and Nina will be doing news, breaking news. Everything from Hunter Biden to Trump to China and North Korea and South Korea. As you've heard, they put them on, South Korea went on martial law. So welcome for that. It's going to be an interesting day. So join us there. Stupid Talk and Stupid Talk Daily. Yeah, Nina says, I just posted a post from Cliff High today. Did Cliff High predict the aliens? He said, well, maybe not so much. You know, those predictions, when you put a date on them, they never really come true. And Lucky Stone's in the house. He says, happy Tribal Tuesday.
Happy Tribal Tuesday.
Yeah, there's Scotty Boy. Had to run away from Max's. Yeah, Paul is there. And yeah, join us on Thursday for Stupid Talk and Stupid Talk Daily. Exactly. Let's see if I can find it and put it up. If I can find the thing, it's sometimes I can't find that stuff. What do you got going on in your neck of the woods? How was your Thanksgiving and all that good stuff? Give us the rundown of your weekend or your week.
Are you talking to me?
Yes,
Are you talking to me? Are you talking to me?
Yes.
I had a couple of folks come by and visit with me on Sunday, and that was very enjoyable. They have a new member in their family, a young man who was born on Friday. Anyway, right around Thanksgiving, and he was like 6 pounds and an ounce, and so with that, they're not my family, blood related, but they've been my extended family for well over close to 25 years now. And so, I knew the mother, who was like 11 when I first met her, and now she's got 3 kids, this brand new baby. And, it's amazing to have seen her as a child, and now she's got childs, she's got Rugrats running around and a brand new baby. So, send prayers to her, because she's sure going to need them. While she had a C-section, so it's going to take her a little while to recover. But so my weekend was sending prayers out and talking with family members and seeing how that was. And me and Duggar stayed home. We have been collecting firewood very slowly. Duggar can't pick up the wood with his paws, so I have to do it still. He'll carry a pine cone around in his mouth, but that don't do me any good.
Well, at least he's trying. He's a trying. You know how that is. We can only get
Go ahead.
I was going to say, you just get one of those little backpacks, dogs have, and strap it over his shoulders, and then just pile the wood in there, and then he'll walk right into the house with it.
Yeah, that'd be nice. But the thing is I still have to load him up. So
Oh, yeah.
either way, I got to do picking up. I got to bend over. And but we've been doing, um, thank goodness this has been the first real cold snap of the season for us down here. I noticed that the wood pile that I had from last year is going down really quick. I'm glad
Yeah.
I have it, but it's going down really quick.
Yeah.
Gonna have to go looking.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, we just we just got out of our cold snap spell from about a week of zero weather. Zero cold, below zero. Oh man, we went from wearing just a sweatshirt to wearing all my below 40 gear. Anyway, so it kind of broke today, and it's looking like this next week is going to be pretty darn good in the 20s and 30s and stuff like that. So the snow here is going to melt and the sun's going to come out and it's going to be pretty darn nice. So we're looking forward to that. It's December. You're going to get all kinds of stuff. Winter's a coming, or winter's here. Either way.
Yeah.
Anyhow. Well, what we're going to do tonight, we're going to do pictures. And so people, if you're listening to this, just listening, not going to do so well. We're gonna start out. I got this new CD thing or whatever it was with all kinds of stuff. We're gonna go through this folder first. It's the Apaches, the Jacaras, and the Navajo. It's all pictures of the natives from way back in the day. And then we're going to go and do the Pima, the Panango, the Quetzal, and then the a lot of these ones, the Cinnabon, Hidatsa, the Riccara, the Cheyenne, and it just goes on and on and on and on. And it gives a little bit of their daily life, all kinds of stuff, everything all the way up to the Eskimos. I don't know how far we'll get tonight, but this is going to be pretty good. So pay attention. We're going to have, lots of clips here. So it's just pictures. I thought for a break, instead of listening, we need to start a new book, and we do. We have found a new book. David found a new book tonight, and we will start a new story. What's the story called tonight?
You would say that. How the water lily was born.
The birth of the white water lily.
White water lily.
The birth of the white water lily. Yes, exactly. So, Scotty boy, you get your wish, a new book. Yes, sir, indeed. So let's start sharing the screen here, and we are going for pictures. And right away, remember, this is the Navajo and the all of those people. But anyway, and the Apache and the Navajo. So I don't know who's who or what's what, but it's going to show them in their natural state. I don't know what we're going to come up to because I haven't looked through everything, but what I did look through looked pretty darn interesting. So just bear with me. And David, you comment on the stuff anytime you want. Okay.
Okay, doke.
I hope you can see the. Can you see the pictures?
Yeah.
Okay,
and
great.
So there is a papoose.
Yeah. Are you still looking at your phone? That's why it's so small, isn't it?
Yes. Still got the phone.
Still got the phone. Okay. Well, anyway, yes. Here's a mother with her baby. As you can see, they tie them up in this like cradle thing. It must be. This looks like leather of some sort. You just tell me anytime you want to stop.
And they carried those on their backs.
Yes, it looks like she could.
Like a backpack.
See, this is the thing I don't get. Nowadays you take a baby and you wrap it up like that. That baby's just gonna cry like hell because it can't move. Right?
Yeah.
But
Well,
those
that was
kids,
to keep him. That was to keep him from wiggling out.
yeah, like he says, burrito baby. Does burrito baby. Yeah, especially if you were moving like on a horse or walking and stuff. Here's a guy. I don't know who he is. It doesn't really say in the picture or nothing. I can blow it up, but it doesn't really say. Just the different looks of these people. I mean, these are probably pure-blooded natives.
And but that
Oh,
last picture, he was Americanized. You can tell he
yes,
doesn't
yeah,
have anything on him except it looks like an earring. To let anybody know that he's a native.
yeah,
For all intents and purposes, he could be a black man.
pretty much. Okay, here's the native. You can see that he has the pocked face, which means he probably had chicken pox or measles or whatever that makes your face pocked. But he's got
Or
a headdress.
bad acne.
Or real bad acne, yes. Or the buffalo from back in the day. There you go. I mean, we see those fancy pictures of the buffalo and they're all fat and everything. This is in the spring. I can tell this is in the spring. They're shedding, and you can see the fur. Their hair is coming off. They're shedding. There's a calf, just kind of scattered out there, just resting around.
Wait, go back. And that's a very small herd.
Yes,
because you can see over the tops that road in front of them, and then those ones just beyond the road. But beyond those few right there are no more. So what you see is probably most of the herd. Where back in the day, you wouldn't have seen that hill in the background; it would have been covered with buffalo.
Yep, that's for sure.
Okay, I'm done.
Okay. And here we go. They're down by the water, a river of some sort. And you can tell this isn't as old of a picture because, they're dressed in clothes. They have clothes on and umbrellas, and you can see a wagon in the background. So this is probably, I'd say it doesn't label it at the pool. It says at the pool, animal dog Cheyenne.
You know what that looks like to me?
What?
It looks like to me that because of the people with parasols in the background, it looks like to me that this might have been a baptism.
Yes, could definitely be. Definitely. You can see by their shoes. Some got shoes and some got moccasins, it looks like, of some sort. Moccasins. See, here's this one. The moccasins are usually like white, and you can see some of them like are black, so that must be a hard shoe. I can try to blow it up a little more. But they have cowboy hats and other hats like a derby. Cowboy hats in the back.
So that says to me that this is later on, after the war, if you will. And why would they be gathered around the pool? Well, if there was a pastor who said you're going to get baptized today and dunked in the water, well then, and there would have been a lot of onlookers, for those types of things. So that's just my, summation of that gathering around the pool. Why? So the dogs can drink? Nah, there was another reason. And the folks in the background, that they're definitely onlookers. Yep. They came prepared with umbrellas, and
white shirts.
Yes, which was sort of that Christian thing,
Yep.
And it still is, the Mormon guys and gals that go out, they all, wear white with black trousers and, so anyway, go ahead.
Yep. Okay. This one says black belly. Let's see. Black belly, Cheyenne. I finally seen the names up. They put the names up top. Boy, he looks old. Holy cow.
And not only that, he looks broken.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
He looks broken. I mean, how else can I say it? But, God, I can't think of another word that comes to mind. Just broken. He's been defeated. He's, looking down. You can see, even though he's got a tired face and weathered, he looks defeated, Wow, that's an interesting picture. And he's got his Indian blanket with him. They sure knew how to part their hair back in the day.
Talked about being dressed up. And, we talk a lot about their headdress, and the headdresses we see today, they look so good. Here, this one's not like the ones we see today. Put it that way.
Zoom in on that, will you?
You know what I mean? His headdress is more like a crown versus the ones we see today.
Yeah, but the ones that are flowing behind that, you have to earn those feathers.
Yes.
So if you see a chief with the long flowing ones, they've earned more feathers. So he's just earned enough for his crown, and he's got to start for the train, like the train on behind a wedding dress. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but he has to earn that. So it's just that's a status of a chief who's not the chief. He's like, third in line, and that's his headdress. Where the main chief has got a long, feathers behind him. And it's, you know what I mean? Do you understand?
Oh, yeah.
So, but that's the reason. But also, that's the fact that he's got that ornament around his horse. That's special.
Yep.
That horse is special. It doesn't just denote the chief. It denotes the horse. That horse has done something really special to deserve that necklace.
Yep. Yeah. That's a pretty one. Yeah.
Yep.
He's decked out for sure. Cool. Okay, let's move on. We got a lot of them to go. This one is called Cheyenne. This is called Cheyenne Chief. And again, you can see his face it looks really, weather beaten. He's old. He's got some medallions on.
Will you zoom in on his leg?
Yes.
That looks like a splint.
Something, as you see his moccasin on. I don't know what that is.
Can you zoom in any closer?
I don't know.
That looks like a splint. He's been injured and he's standing there and they took his picture because that's wrapped around. That's a splint.
You're right. It looks like he's got a hurt leg. Yeah, it does look like a wrapping on his leg. Interesting.
Absolutely, because you can see his other legs in a pair of pants.
Yep.
So, and I think that would probably be the reason they took his picture.
Could be. Definitely could be.
Because back in the day, it's like, here's the chief with his, with his hurt leg.
I agree.
That's interesting. Wow. Zoom back into that for a second, please. I
sure can.
Wow, that's interesting how they put that on him. That's a really good job. That's a really good job for back then. I mean, I'm just saying, medical science should, hey, for you folks that, might be out in the wilderness and break your leg, remember that. That's a really good job right there.
Oh, let's go to the next one. Here's a woman. This is called a Cheyenne costume. Yes. She's got the moccasins, really pretty. Lots of stringy beads. Definitely all do jobbed up for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. This
And
one's
that
called.
would have been like not sort of like ceremonial dress. It'd be like going to church kind of dress. Sunday, go to meeting. That last picture.
Christmas says that the Native American with pockmarked face was not chicken pox. That was smallpox scars. Okay. I agree. Was probably looking for that word, but I just couldn't think of it. Here, this one's called Cheyenne Maiden. And you can see she's all jobbed up too. Really pretty. Really pretty. And
very distinguished face.
Yes, very.
Just I don't know how, distinguished is all, that comes to mind. Next.
Yep, I'm getting there. Now we got something interesting. This looks like some kind of giant tent of some sort, unless you got it's called Cheyenne Sundance Lodge.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, they cut down trees with the limbs still on them. Can you zoom into that at all?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, that's a serious. The Sundance happens every summer, unless it's been called off for some reason. But that's where they pierce the chest with things, and they hang from it.
Yep.
And so there are a lot of people who attend it. There are people who are there, who are there 24 hours. They're there, and they stand behind those who are doing the Sundance ceremony, and it's sort of like their second. What?
Okay, and this is okay. So this is back in the day, right? I imagine this is probably early 1900s. Doesn't it seem like that?
It looks it from the picture.
Yeah, it does. So, but you notice now these are the natives, but they're all wearing cowboy hats of some sort. The women got parasols or like umbrella type things. Now nowadays, I'm just going to say nowadays, if you were to go to a Sundance, would these people be wearing, the same attire, or would they be all dressed up in costume?
Those people wouldn't be there.
They wouldn't.
No.
Okay.
Those are spectators. And the Sundance it has been regulated to only those family, usually like one out, like, it's got to be a cousin or a brother. It can't be a second cousin. That doesn't work. But you're invited. Not anybody can just show up at a Sundance. So the fact that there are people, and they're all watching something. Something's going on in there. It's probably, getting ready for the ceremony itself. And back in those days, the Indians couldn't really argue about it. If the white folks wanted to come out and see what they was doing, they did, because they had just been conquered. So, but nowadays, and I've had information of someone who went to a Sundance as part of the ceremony itself. He had been studying for years and had gone through several sweat lodges and stuff. You can't just go and show up. You gotta study for years. And so he had done his due diligence and was ready to go that summer. And so he was able to tell me some stuff, but not a lot, because he's like, it's still sacred, and our
Yep.
ancestors passed this down. So that right there, those are all onlookers. Those aren't native folk.
Okay, so Chris Smith, he says, some were so scared they committed suicide. My grandpa was half Cherokee and told us when we were kids. Wow. Can you imagine going to the Sundance and you're going to do the thing and you get so scared you commit suicide? That's crazy. Wow. Amazing.
Now you have to want to go to the Sundance.
Yeah, I'd like to find out more
you
about
have really, if you want to be a shaman, a sure enough one, then you're going to do your studying. I mean, in the Catholic religion, it would be like becoming a bishop or something,
Wow.
versus just a priest, or an acolyte or an altar boy. He started out as an altar boy, and now he's going to become a bishop.
Yeah.
So that's sort of what, it's a bad analogy, but it's the best I can give you.
Yep. Okay, let's go on. This is a dog woman, Cheyenne.
Oh, that's a woman?
Yep. It says dog woman, Cheyenne.
Wow.
At least that's what the picture says. Again, she's got like these little bead things on. I don't know what they are, but they're like little things and lots of beadwork. Very cool.
That's sort of like oh crap. Counting coup. That's sort of the, that's the what they got, that I got a couple of beads because I did such and such. But anyway, boy, what a nose on that woman. Wow.
Yeah.
Keep going. I would have thought that was a man, though.
Aspermy Comanche. Don't ask me. Aspini, I guess. Comanche. Well, just go with Comanche. He's got a nose too.
Very prominent, yeah.
Ooh, here we go. Grass house ceremony. Nice. Now these guys are all dressed up.
Yeah, well, now they're doing specific. When they dress like that, they're doing specific dances. It's like one might be doing the crow hop, one might be doing a snake dance, another one might be so and they're dressed accordingly. But you can tell there are a lot of watchers, a lot of folks there to watch. One thing interesting, they're dancing, but I don't see a drum. Do you see a drum anywhere in that picture?
Maybe back here. I don't see.
Go more to the left. The drum should be under there.
Nope, I don't see, unless it's farther over. I don't.
That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be cool to go back in the day when you could go to those things like that? Okay, this one says Henry, Wichita. I don't know what that means. It doesn't. It just says Henry, Wichita.
Wichita, Kansas.
Probably. Well, there's Wichita Indians too. That was a tribe.
Yeah.
You know that? This is Henry. Okay. Oh, here we go. The Hanami Society, Cheyenne Sundance. They're all dressed up with, looks like grass and flowers of some sort. I don't know.
Yeah.
It looks like they're going somewhere, and they're paraded.
They have riders who come in from the four directions to honor the sun dance. It's sort of like bringing the sun in, and then they, but so whatever that is they have decorated their horses, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4 in the foreground. There are more in the background, but they could be the four. Not necessarily the four horsemen in the Bible, but the four horsemen for the ceremony.
Yeah, northeast, west, or fire, water.
Yep. So, but if that's a part of the Sundance, then that's part of what I was told, that they had riders that came in from each direction. And some of them come for hundreds of miles, even to this day. They, now this has been 10 or 15 years ago, but the last I heard, he was like, oh yeah, they'll ride, some of them will ride 100, 200 miles. And he said they'll ride straight through. I'm like, what?
Wow.
But they're serious. The Sundance, those folks who really honor it, it's really serious.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have anything that even compares
to
the Sundance. Doesn't even come close.
Oh, no, of course not. Okay, let's move on. This is John Abbott, the Osage. The Osage. They made a movie about the Osage here a while back. This is John Abbott of the Osage.
And they're mostly...
Like he's got some kind of... The what? Mostly what?
Yeah, they're mostly in Oklahoma. I had a good friend of mine who was Osage Indian.
Ah, okay. Like the comment on his hat, looks like that's beaver. Don't you think?
It could be, yeah. It looks like what is it called? A fez?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That the Shriners wear.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. This is John Quaspaw, Hunta Wakanta. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing it all right, but anyway, looks like he's got a medal with a star. Unlike some of them, he's got a beard and whiskers of some sorts going on there.
Yeah, and it looks like he's got blonde hair too.
Well, it's probably white. I would imagine it's
maybe,
white.
but also his mustache. So he might have been a half bleed.
Could be, yeah. I wouldn't doubt that. Okay. And this guy here is called Left Hand Comanche. And again, too, he's got one of those fez hats on.
Yep.
And let's see what else we got. And this is Lone Chief Cheyenne. Now he's got a saddle with a horn and stirrups and stuff. Definitely. No big headdress. But he is carrying some feathers on his horse right here. You see his feathers?
Yep.
He's not dressed up his horse as much as... Is that his rifle? Maybe that's a rifle there, sticking under his saddle. I think that's the rifle.
Under his leg, he's got his leg over it.
Yeah, right here. That's the rifle. Could be. Nice. Okay.
Because by the time they were taking pictures like that, that was like, the 1890s.
Yeah.
They were taking some pictures earlier than that, but the clarity of the pictures and how they were set up, that looks like it was at least 1890s.
Yeah, like this one here. This one here looks more modern, like maybe the 20s. Yeah, because like I said, this is a good picture. It's a really clear picture.
Yeah,
This
that
is
was at least the 1900s, I would guess.
yes, yes. This is a very good, clear picture. This is Lone Chief. Okay, Lone Chief, and this is Old Cheyenne. Now that's a headdress for sure. Look at all the feathers he's got.
Yeah, and look at, go back to that last picture, please. Zoom in. Look at those feathers.
Yeah.
Those are fake.
Ah.
Now go to the next one and zoom
Oh
in
yeah.
on those feathers.
Oh yeah.
Those are the real deal there. Those
Yeah.
are real feathers. Now
Those
the
are.
other ones, when I say they're fake, they were some from a goose or something like that. But those feathers on that headdress were earned. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Those
And look
those
at they
are
go
the
all. He's got.
real deal.
He goes all the way down.
Yeah.
You know, I wish
So
I had
he
dates on these
earned
photos.
those feathers.
Yeah, and he's old. He looks old too.
Yeah.
He.
You ain't going to find a young buck with a long headdress unless it was given to him.
Mm-hmm.
They had to earn those feathers. That's a cool picture of the feathers there. That other one, and you know what? That's interesting that we got one with, I say, fake feathers. The headdress was made, where this one was earned. But that we had two back to back. That's cool. So I could, show the difference of what I mean. If you
Yeah.
see somebody with a headdress on with all them white feathers and they all look the same and everything, that's a fake headdress. If you see somebody with a headdress with real feathers in it, sure enough, that's the real deal.
Yeah. What's a stick? See, he's got a stick with this thing on there. What is that? Is that a scalp on there? Is this
it very well could be.
Why has he got a stick? What's a stick for? I don't know.
It's to carry it.
Okay.
It's sort of like a spirit stick.
Okay.
So if that's a scalp, then you're carrying the spirit of your enemy with you. And so that because you beat that enemy, you've had the strength of that enemy. And so that's a spirit stick.
Huh, interesting. Okay, who do we got? Old Eagle, Ottos. And look, he's got a medal. Wonder what that medal is. Looks like the head of a man. That is not an Indian head. I don't know what
who was it that gave out medals to the Indians?
George Washington and Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah, but that don't look like either one of them. I wonder if that's later on like Grant or somebody.
Oh yeah, that does look like a Grant. It looks like there's some writing on here, but I can't get close enough to read it. But look at those claws. Those are bear claws.
I wonder if whoever's on that, it does look like Grant. Like that could have been like not necessarily a medallion, but like a dollar or something, a silver piece.
It's too big to be a silver dollar.
And they put a hole in it, and he made a necklace. Maybe. I'm just the way it looks like a coin.
Those are bear claws, aren't they? Those are.
I don't know.
Look how big they are. Those.
Yeah, buddy.
Those. Yeah, very interesting. He too has a fez hat looking thing.
Yep.
Interesting. Very interesting. Here we go. Old Warrior, Arapaho. Yes, he looks old, and He's dressed in Native American stuff. He's, that much on. But what he does have on, represents a lot. The wind must be blowing or something because the picture's kind of blurry.
Yeah.
But, ooh, look, he's got a ring on. See the ring on his finger right there?
Yeah.
There's a ring on it.
And what's that? Go back in there. What is that thing coming off? He's holding something. That's a stick or something. See, it looks like little triangles on a stick.
Yeah, but it's blowing in the wind, whatever he's holding there.
No, go up to his wrist. Show his wrist. See that
right
thing
here,
coming up to his shoulder?
Oh, yeah.
That's a stick of some sort.
Yeah, something. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Huh.
Now, see his headdress. Now he's out west, but it sort of reminds me of the Mohawk.
Yeah.
The way his headdress is.
It does.
Next, I wonder what that thing is he's holding in his hand. Huh.
Don't know. Ooh, this was a good one. On the Canadian River. Got some pretty horses. Saddles. Again, with the saddles. This is definitely a chief, and he looks like he's got real feathers, too.
Yeah, but he's on a pony. That horse in the background's smaller. That white one?
Yeah. Of course, he doesn't look that big either on that horse, He looks pretty like a small guy on a small horse. Because if he was big like this guy, he'd make that thing look like a pony,
Yeah. But that horse is markedly smaller, though, isn't it?
It is. It's much smaller. At least it looks like it. Maybe it's sitting a little farther back than we can tell, but definitely.
It's still smaller. Mm-hmm. But anyway, just by the way the chief is sitting on it, and as high as this guy in the foreground sitting, just the way they're sitting on the horse. That's cool. And the guy in the back is bald.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's go to the next one here. This is Peyote Drummer. Let me see his drum.
Oh, Peyote Drummer. That means that there was some hallucinations going on.
Yep. So let's take a look at the drum. Oops. What did I do here?
And a small drum like that is going to be a higher pitched drum as well.
You can see the little knobs on there. I don't know what that's for. That's to stretch the stuff, I guess.
Yeah, to stretch the hide.
That's interesting. And he's wearing a ring too. How about that? He's got earrings on. See, he was in style way before I did this. Oh, how did I do to this thing? Yeah, I'm going to have to get out of here for a second and then get back in because I screwed this thing up. Everything, I hit some button. There we go. And everything went kapooey. Do you hate it when that happens?
Yeah, buddy.
Peyote Drummer. Okay, maybe it'll come back. Yeah, because I somehow I did something and it took away all the words. I wanted to have the words so we can read who's what. Okay, we did peyote drummer. This is pipe stem, Otto. Pipe stem. This looks like a more modern guy. More modern headdress. Again. Chloe says she always wanted to try peyote. Chris Smith.
Oh, I tried it once.
I love history and ancient history and geography. I follow Randall Carlson. Yep, Randall Carlson's pretty cool too. And this is Reuben Taylor, Cheyenne. Again, yep. So, okay. And this is Standing to Otto. He's got that
Somebody
necklace.
gave him some peyote.
I see he's got one of these medallions on too. I don't know what this means though. This is the second one we've seen where they have a.
That basically represents the sun.
Okay.
And it's ornamental more than it is spiritual.
Okay.
It's a little bit of both, but you know.
Okay.
Also, he's got a bone choker on too.
Yep. This is the story of Washida. The story of the Washida. I guess that's what it's called. He looks like a medicine man, maybe. And again, he's got a ring on too. If you see, look, he's got a ring on his hand right there.
Yeah, go back up to his face.
I'm getting there.
Was he in one of the other pictures?
Was
and
he?
Look at the
not.
And look at the fringe on his jacket.
Yep.
Wow, that's a lot.
He's got a star on his neckerchief too. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
His coat. Yeah, look at all that fringe. Jeez. Lots of fringe. That's leather.
It's how long it is. You know, I've seen jackets. I've got a jacket that has fringe, but it's only half that long.
And this is like stringy. I've seen fringe jackets too, and usually they're pretty thick fringe, but this is like real stringy fringe.
Yeah, it looks good. And look at his leg. That knee that's up in the air. There's a lot of made from the pant. What was that comment that popped up?
Oh, he says Piedo. I can't.
Peyote.
Peyote. Just wouldn't come out of the mouth. Drum is a drum made from the pant, not necessarily used during the spirit quest, if you know what I mean. Made from the pant. Made from the pant. I don't know what the pant is. Okay. The star looks like a Wild West sheriff's badge. That's what I was thinking.
Well, also the Mexicans use those they have the wool that wore those bolos, right? And they all had some kind of something to hold the bolo on, or that you wore it, to keep your hat from falling off. But
it's not made from a pant. It's made from a plant. Sorry. That's
plant.
Chris Smith. Well, thank you for coming. He says, my grandpa never shared much. Most of what I've learned is from reading and podcasts like this one. Well, guess what? We are learning too, and you can learn right along with us. And if you got anything you want to learn, you just give me a holler, send me an email, and I'll do some studying on it. I got a ton of old books. I went to a bookstore in Bismarck, and actually in Mandan, and the lady's like, we got the largest selection of Indian books, in the state. And I looked up there and I looked at them all, and I says, well, I got most of these, and I got probably twice as many as you do. She didn't know what to say. Well, anyway, okay. This
Hey, wait, can
you.
I ask a question? Who
Oh,
is
go ahead.
Chris's what Indian nation was his grandfather?
I think he said Cheyenne. Let me go back on.
Well, that's why I asked again.
Yeah, he said, "Oh, Cherokee." He says, "Somewhere scared." He says, "Somewhere scared. My grandpa was half Cherokee." That's what it is. Sorry about that. I'm trying to get everything. I can't remember everything. Cherokee. Cherokee, he says. Cherokee. Yes. Thank you.
So then I'm related.
All right, cool. And this one here is Ute Comanche. Must have been a tribe of the Comanches. I don't know. I never heard of that one before. Looks like an old woman. This is Wakanda, Ottawa. Wakanda forever, even before the movie.
There you go.
See, they were ahead of us way many years. Wakanda. Canada. This one is Walter Ross, Wichita.
He looks like a could be Cheyenne or Osage.
Could be. This is Water Right Purification, Cheyenne Animal Dance. Huh. There you go.
But see, those are three people.
Yeah.
And the dance is to as a purification. Yep.
Ooh, this is cool. Wichita Grass House.
Wow, that's a really nice one too. Holy crap-a-moly.
Yeah, it is.
You know,
wow.
and if you look at that design, I have there is some African tribes that have, you know, houses, huts, homes, wiki-ups, whatever you want to call them, that are so very similar to that right there.
Yeah.
And these women get together and they can build one of them suckers in a day.
Yeah.
They have a bunch of them that go out and cuts the grass. They got other ones that go out and get the poles. They got others that start stitching them together. I mean, it's amazing what those the tribes in Africa can do, but they're made of grass and look extremely much like that. You know, we've talked about, you know, having folks come across the oceans.
Yeah.
You know, and one thing, you know, that we look at, I say we, you know, I studied architecture, was almost going to become an architect. And so one of the things that I notice right off is that, you know, you say, well, there's no hint of anything, you know, there's no remains, there's no architectural remains in the Americas. Yeah. I would disagree. If you look at that right there, that is an architectural remnant from the past, because they were taught how to do that like other folks taught. So way back in the primitive day when they were living in little things and little lean-tos and stuff, somebody came along and showed them how to weave the grass.
Yeah,
and somebody taught them in Africa how to weave the grass, and they taught them over in China how to weave the grass. They taught the Mongols how to weave the grass. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, so it's like architectural oral tradition.
Yes. You know, that's sort of my point. That's what I'm trying to get across. Yep.
Yeah, because this kind of architecture in you know a dozen years is either going to burn down or it's going to wither away or get blown away and disintegrate because it's just grass. Whereas so that
a lot of times they burned them down when they left.
Yeah.
They didn't
I'm
want
saying,
anything there. They
yeah.
burned it down when they left, you know.
But the idea is that the tradition of building the hut went from, family to family, generation to generation, and that's how the architecture got passed down. Not from, oh, we'll just leave it standing for 20,000 years and somebody will discover it. Right?
Yes, the method and the tradition of them has lived on to the people.
Yeah.
And so, I would hardly disagree with some of these, archaeologists who go, well, there's no real, proof that they blah, 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 look at that picture. And then look at what they're still doing in Africa. They're still making them things in Africa to this day. Wait a minute. There's no connection. Okay, I'm sorry. Next. You know how I get carried away.
Yeah. The Wichita Cheyenne woman.
And I would have thought that was a man again, but that's a woman, huh? Wow.
Oh, I think we come to the end of that one. Let me see. Okay, I gotta go back here, and we're gonna start a new one. Man, there's a lot of ones in here. So, okay, we're gonna do this. Burden bearer, Pima. Huh.
Did you say burden bearer?
Yep, it says burden bearer, Pima. That's what it's labeled as. Looks like she's carrying something on her back. Or him, her, whatever.
That would be the burden.
Yep. That it would.
A lot of times the old women were charged with gathering firewood.
It's probably what she's
and
doing.
They would carry it on their backs.
It's like a basket of sort.
Those look like spears.
Could be. Maybe a fishing net?
Oh, wait a minute. Zoom in closer. There's a hoop on that thing.
Yeah.
Whoa.
As close as I can get, yeah.
Yeah, but no, that's a basket. Whatever she's carrying goes in that. Oh.
Yep.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay, let's go to the next one. This one is by the canal, the Maracopia. It's like a woman, and she is by a canal with a pitcher for water. Interesting.
That almost looks like a painting.
It does. This one's called Captain Charlie, the Maracopia. The Maricopa. And Travis is in the house. Elderberry, how you doing? He says, harvest basket. Ooh, you changed your logo thing. How about that, Elderberry? Good for you. And Scotty Boy says, pick and toss the basket. There you go. And that one is Captain Charlie. Looks like he's got shorter hair. Huh. Okay, this one here, he's got a mustache. Look at that. This is Carlos Rios, Papagondo Chief. Papagondo?
Now, I think he looks Mexican.
He does. His name is Carlos Rios.
Yeah, well, that could be. But I mean, before you said that, also, does he have a mustache?
Yep. Yes,
so,
he does.
But but his face is different. So is his nose. His forehead is. So yeah, he looks Mexican. Go ahead.
Okay. Chicango, Pima. And there you go. Good close-up picture.
Looks Mexican again.
Yep. Chicango. Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway, This is the Farcade, San Xavier Del Baca mission. This is a mission. It's amazing how the missions are all giant big buildings of fancy architecture, and the people that go to the missions live in grass huts. Something's wrong with that.
Or little stone buildings, on the outskirts of town. But go ahead. Yep. And the fact that, and the fact that the priest came in and scared them, and also, through religion, coerced them into building these things because God needs them. God wants you to build these things, and the priest would come in and talk a good line, and and the rest of the town looks like hell. But boy, howdy, that church has got to look right.
Yeah. This is Gathering Hanama. Papango. Papango. I guess that is. She looks more Mexican too, doesn't she?
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. She's some kind of something she's collecting. Oh, it's a cactus.
No idea.
That's a cactus.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, see the spiky prickers? I don't know what kind of cactus it is, but she's collecting something out of the cactus.
Well, there are different cactus that produce a fruit on the end of the cactus, and we were taught as Boy Scouts back in the day. Of course, I got a cactus out here that every once in a while, it'll produce a flower and one of those fruits, and they're pretty tasty. So, if it's a big cactus, I'm not aware of that because I don't live down there, but it could very well have, that some kind of fruit on it, like the cactus up here. Has no markets in the United States. The Cherokee were from Egypt, Libya, Algeria, according to detailed stuff. Yeah, but the Cherokees from North Carolina and North Georgia and up there, their ancestors might have been from there, but the Cherokee Indian in and around the mountains, they're the ancestors of them folk that came from Egypt. Just saying.
Scotty Boy says the Nepalis prickly pear fruit. There you
Prickly pear, that's the one. Thank you, Scotty Boy. He's the other side of my brain sometimes.
I know. One more picture, and then we're going to a story. And this one is Getting Water. The Havasupai is Havasupai. So Havasupai. That's it. Havasupai. Gathering water. And again, you got a big container. She's all dressed out in beads or something around her neck. As you can see, she's got quite the coat on or something too, so must be cooler.
Yeah, well, that looks like a northern tribe of something. But also, let me state this. They didn't have dressers and dresser drawers. They didn't have jewelry boxes.
Yeah.
They didn't have, stuff like that. So, if they had a good blanket, they slept on it. If they had jewelry, they wore it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they weren't necessarily decked out, but they might have something special back at the teepee. But mostly the reason you see it on them is because they didn't really, have any place to put it like we do. Women take off their jewelry and put it in a jewelry box or in a drawer or in a dish on the thing. They basically wore what they had.
Yeah.
and they slept on what they had. They covered up with what they had. You know what I mean? Because when it came time to break camp, you just put your stuff on, rolled up your sleeping bag kind of thing, and the teepee came down and off you went.
Yep. Chloe says she's very dark skinned. Do you notice most of these people are very dark skinned? I mean, imagine they didn't, they were out in the sun all the time. So tan with dark skin, it's going to even be darker skin. Plus, at this point in time, they probably didn't have interbred with a bunch of white people either. So, am I right?
That is true. Up to a point, that's true. But,
Yeah.
Having been to many powwows over the years, there are some very dark-skinned Indians. You would just, swear that they weren't Indian at all, that they were, a black tribe. But there are some Cherokee down here in the South that are mixed with black. And I have met several black women, more than I've met black men, that, I've said, hey, you're part Cherokee, aren't you? And, almost got slapped. And they would go, how do you know? And it's because I could tell with your cheekbones. I can tell you're black, but there's a reddish hue to who you are. And it's like, and I've been right every time, and I did not get slapped, but I've been, 100% with calling that out. And somebody will say, yeah, my grandmother was Cherokee, and my, such and such, and so there were a lot of Native Americans who mixed with the black community. And so, but at the same time, I've met some Native folk from out west who they're just sort of Mexican mix, and they're very dark skinned.
Yep. Okay, well, we got a new book tonight, and I hope you're ready, because our fun. We could probably do a whole other show on this, but anyway, we probably will one of these days. Can
I ask the audience? Yeah. Are they bored with this?
Yeah, I don't know. I hope they thought it was very interesting. Like I said, I got way more pictures. I think there was 1,000 or 2,000 pictures on this CD that I bought.
Well, I know, I can get to yakking and stuff, but it's it between the pics and our conversation, pointing out things, hopefully it wasn't.
Yeah, Scotty Boy liked it. He says, "Hell no, not bored." So there you go. Well,
and the fact that they're participating. Thank you very much. Okay. Because I find these pictures fascinating, and between Robert and I, picking out different things in the pictures. So, okay, thank you for that response.
Well, and Chris Smith says, "Not boring, more please." Yes, okay. Well, maybe next week we'll do a second show. I'm studying up on. We're going to be doing, believe it or not, the railroads. Because going out west, they put the railroads in, and how did that affect the Native Americans? Good question, isn't it?
The Iron Horse.
The Iron Horse, and it's coming. And how did the natives get affected, and what did they do? I learned a lot of stuff over this. Did you know that once they put the railroad in, the buffalo were afraid to cross the tracks, so it divided the herds of buffalo?
I did not know that.
Yep. I found that out.
They were afraid to cross the tracks, huh? Well, in a way that makes sense, because, any farmers who have any cattle, they'll have those cattle grates at a gate, and they're a couple of poles in a row, and the cows won't cross them. So you could leave the gate open and they won't cross that thing.
Yeah, we got a lot of them out here out west,
Yeah.
cattle gardens. But tracks are not the same thing. I had cows, and man, when the cows got out, they ran over the tracks. They didn't give a shit. Yeah,
so
but I mean,
strictly a buffalo thing. Huh?
It was. I mean, I suppose the buffalo never seen anything like that, and to them, it was like putting up a fence. So anyway, we got a new story tonight, and you want to start out with this, the little poem, eh?
Well, the poem, for lack of a better. So give me a second. Let me get situated. Just let me get my
while
chair.
You're getting situated, I'm going to say hello to everybody in the chat. We got Chloe, who's in the chat. We got Scotty Boy. We got Elderberry. And he says, pictures speak. Yes, pictures do. He says, I think it was interesting. And Chris Smith says, more please. Thank you. Let's see who else we got here in tonight. I know Nina the Mystic was here, and we got I Hate You. There you go. Travis, yes. And then let's see who else is here. Lucky Stone. Thank you for participating and joining us tonight. I hope your internet is getting better, because we have a great guest on for this weekend, and I need a co-host. Yes, we have a new guest, a lady who talks to ghosts and spirits, and June, the author, recommended to me by Lady Spellbreaker. So anyhow, yeah, the moo cows are running back in the day when I had a herd of cows. Oh man, I tell you what, that was a rodeo. Put it slightly. Cows were always getting out of the damn fences. I could never build a good enough fence to keep them cows in. It was terrible. Anyway, there you go.
Those were some rowdy cows.
They were polled Herefords. I had like 10 or 11 of them. Quite the herd I had.
Okay. So we're starting out a new book, and there are only 4 or 5 stories in it, and it's fanciful tales from legends from the Adirondack Indians by Kate Brewer, 1905. Ye who love a nation's legends, love the ballads of a people, that like voices from afar off call to us to pause and listen, speak in tones so plain and childlike, scarcely can the ear distinguish whether they are sung or spoken. Listen to this Indian legend. I just thought that was, I got to get my page here. The birth of the white water lily. All is excitement in the Indian village. The women have prepared a great feast, and the maidens are decked out in all their ornaments. Wayatoa, the young chief, has returned from his victorious warpath, and the joyful welcome which belongs to the victor awaits him. The noonday sun shines down on the beautiful lake, so placid in the shimmering heat of the summer day. Wayatoa is surrounded by his tribe, all looking in admiration at him, and he is good to look at. This young chief of scarce 25 summers, tall and straight as an arrow he is, with smooth brown limbs, which at every move show the strong, firm muscles. His plume of feathers waves back from his brow, from beneath which his eyes look black and piercing. Many there are in the group about him, hearing the story of his exploit, but his eyes rest not on any till, on the outskirts of the throng, and almost beyond reach of his voice, he reaches her he has sought, and holds her with his steady gaze. Not a pause in his story indicates to the listening tribe that his thoughts are wandering. But as the maiden meets his eye, a dusky red mounts to her cheek, and slowly and sadly she shakes her head. Then, brushing her hand hastily across her eyes, she turns toward the lake and is soon lost to sight among the trees. Concluding his tale somewhat hastily, Waiatoha retires to his cabin and drops the deerskin before the entrance. Waiting a moment to be sure the tribe still remains before the hut, he carefully makes his way out of the rear, and by making a wide detour through the forest, reaches the lake without being seen. So much time had it taken that when he reached the edge of the lake where the canoes were pulled up, Osita's canoe was but a speck nearing the opposite shore. Dropping silently into his birch bark, he pushed out and pulled after the girl with long, swift strokes. Rapidly he gained on the figure ahead, but before he could reach her, or she had become aware of his presence, Osita had sprung from her skiff and was climbing the hill which rose steeply from the lake. Little heeding the wild creatures which froze into statues at her approach, she walked rapidly along till she reached an open knoll below which a huge rock rose a sheer 50 feet above the lake. Here she flung herself face down on the soft turf and lay motionless. Suddenly she lifted her head and listened, then sprang to her feet, clasping her hands over her throbbing heart. It was but a second before the bushes parted and Waiatoa stood before her. Only Osita has no word for Waiatoa on his return from a victory over his enemies. Still, the quivering girl remained silent, till with one step he reached her side and drew her to him. Then, with a quick movement, she tore herself from his embrace and, drawing herself to full height, replied, "Very thankful is Osita that the chief returns to the tribe uninjured, and very thankful, too, must be the little bright-eyed Kiwa that her brave returns. When dost thou make thy wedding feast with her? Much time has gone now since she was promised to thee." The chief's brow darkened, and he made a motion to regain her side, but her eye forbade him. Well, Sita, Waiatora loves not the little Kiwa and will not take her to his cabin. Had his eyes but fallen on thee first, his promise would not have been given to her. Come with me, and we will find another brave for little Kiwa. Well, Sita shook her head. No, that would be wrong. And Waiatora, the chief of his tribe, cannot do such a thing. Go to Kiwa and forget that thou hast loved Osita and that she has loved thee. At her last words, a fire leapt into the Indian's eyes, and disregarding her look which forbade him, he clasped her in his arms and said, Osita, since thou lovest me, thou shalt come with me. It is not Waiatora who pleads with thee, but the chief who commands, and thou darest not disobey. Osita rested quietly in his strong, young arms a moment, and then replied, Waiatora, because Osita loves thee, and thy honor more than life, she cannot let thee do this thing. The Great Spirit will be angry with thee, and prosperity will leave the tribe. Farewell, Waiatora. Osita goes, but leaves thee thy honor. With these words, the Indian girl broke from him, and with one leap plunged headlong from the steep rock into the lake, the water closing over her head. She never rose, and though the chief swam for hours, he failed to find a trace of her body. Returning to the village, he instituted a search, which lasted till the moon had risen. No one found a trace or clue to aid in the recovering of the body of the favorite of the tribe. At last, in sorrow, the searchers returned to lament and mourn. The following day, some of the young men went to the spot to see if perchance the body had risen, and returned with the astounding news that where the girl had gone down, there were beautiful white flowers growing on the surface of the water. Such a thing seemed too wonderful to be true. So the tribe, in a body, paddled to the place. Sure enough, the water was covered with beautiful flowers, with delicate white petals and rich golden centers. It is the beautiful white soul of Osita, with her heart of gold, come back to us in this form. And they sorrowed no more for the maiden whose purity and love remained always with them in the form of the beautiful white lily, which spread and multiplied through all the waters fed by the lake of the Saranox. The end. The birth of the white water lily.
That was good.
That's a good one. It's a shame, they while he was telling a story, he could see her out on the fringe of the crowd, so as I was reading it, having been a puppeteer and storyteller, you'd be telling the story and doing whatever, but I could watch the crowd, and there were people in the back, and somebody might wave at me while I was doing what I was doing. And so, as I was reading it, I was like, wow, I used to kind of sort of do that too, not necessarily lock eyes with a woman, but the idea of telling the story and not so anyway, that's interesting.
Yep. All right.
I got thirsty. You want me to pull a couple of cards?
Well, yeah, I'm sure everybody's waiting for cards. I mean, can't have a good night without cards.
Yeah, I was too busy. It takes a long time to search through some of these books that you sent me. You have to open them, then you got to read through them. I mean, I don't mind, but what it is that it's amazing how much time it takes. I just want to scan and see, if there are any stories in this book. So you open it up and you read some stuff and you go in there and it's like, well, that's not really appropriate, but maybe at another time, and then you go and open another ones, after 10 or 15 opens, and it's like, thank God I found this one, but it's only got 4 stories. So I'm going to have to continue the search for more stories. But anyway, all right, so everybody, I'm going to shuffle them up here. And if y'all want a message, then collectively, think of what you want the message to be, or,
Okay, that's what we're doing.
Or if you need a message in a particular thing, then think about it. And because I'm shuffling the cards.
Okay. We've got her going on here.
And every time I shuffle the cards, I think about it. I go through here. I don't look at them while I'm feeling the cards out. What difference does it make if I shuffle them? But here's the thing. Sometimes the cards have to be upside down, and sometimes they have to be right side up. So
that's true.
Okay, so going through the cards. There's one. The raven upside down. Speaking of upside downs.
Okay. Yep.
That's 2. I'm coming. It takes me a minute to get through the deck.
Yep.
The next card is beaver upside down.
Not just tarot cards, but animal tarot cards.
Yeah, these are not tarot cards. No, they're not in any way attached to tarot. These are strictly Native American animal cards.
Native American animal.
Okay. Interesting. Are those both supposed to come out?
Okay. Yeah, we haven't had Brighteon in a long time.
Have what?
We haven't had Brighteon in a long time. Haven't had Raven in a long time.
It's been a while since we've had beaver too.
Yeah.
I was actually somewhere in something I was talking about the working together and how beaver, in what Bieber understands is that, you work together to build the dam, so it's not a hive mind, but it is a group mind that works together to use everybody's own um, skills and so forth to get the job done. So, and spirit wise, you know, we all have to work together as a one group, each one of us bringing our own energies into the pile, if you will. So I got all
Yep.
the cards. God, one, two, three, four. There's six. Holy crap. All right. So we've got Raven and Beaver. We've got Fox and or Wolf. They both were side by side and they both wanted to be pulled. So, and they're both right side up. The next one is Lynx upside down. And the last one is Buffalo. The buffalo. So I'm going to lay them out like this. I think
Holy cow, a bunch of them.
Yeah, but you know, I've been doing really good with not lingering and getting to the point with these. Where,
Yep.
you know, 6 months ago I was reading everything. And now I'm reading the highlights mostly. Number 16 is Raven. Whoops. Yeah, the book there. The book calls these medicine cards rather than any kind of tarot or anything, but they're animal cards. Throughout time, Raven has carried the medicine of magic. This has been true in many cultures across the planet, and it is sacred in many ways. Those who fear Raven may do so because they are dabbling in areas which they don't belong. Rather than analyzing the dark side of sorcery, realize that you will fear Raven only if you need to learn about your own inner fears. Raven magic is a powerful medicine that can give you the courage to enter the darkness of the void, which is the home of all that is not yet in form. That's important. So the great void, that's the future where nothing is made yet. There you have thoughts of what it could be, but the great void to where, you know, you're supposed to be that it is all that is not yet in form. The void is called the great mystery, and the great mystery existed before all other things came into being. Great Spirit lives inside the void and emerged from the great mystery. Raven is the messenger of the void. The messenger. If Raven has appeared in your friend, you are about to experience a change in consciousness. Now, if Raven is reversed, is not to be taken lightly. It can mean that the boomerang is coming home. If you have wished harm to another, be careful. You have been asked for this harm to teach you a lesson. So if you went nanny, nanny, boo, boo to somebody, that shaking your finger might come back on you. If you are not wishing evil on another, contrary Raven may be bringing you a warning that you are not equipped to move into another level of consciousness until you have mastered the one that you're currently in. Now I'm getting tapped on the shoulder going, that sentence, read it again. If you, contrary Raven may be bringing you a warning that you are not equipped to move into another level of consciousness until you have mastered the one you are currently working with. On yet another level, Raven may be telling you that you have forgotten the magic of life and have settled into a mundane rut. If this rut suits you and you do not want to experience the extraordinary magic in your life, ask Raven to fly through your dreams and give you a taste of its medicine. Contrary Raven may also portend the time of a smoky, confused messages that cannot see or hear because your intellect is insisting that magic is not real. They want me to go back up to this. That you are not equipped to move into another level of consciousness. Now, that's important right now because with all the energies and everything that's going on, I can see where Raven is telling us you can't move on until you've mastered the level that you're on. Now, just like any computer game, it's true. You can't get to the next level till you get all the stuff on level one. And I've been talking about it for years now. People talking about going to the fifth dimension. And, you can't get to the fifth without going through the fourth. And there are some folks who can't even leave the third yet, let alone get into the fourth or get into the fifth. So this message here to me is very important and very timely for all of us. You cannot go into the next level until you've mastered the one you're on. And the messages will be confused that you cannot see or hear because your intellect insists that magic is not real. So there are folks out there who are going, yeah, well, I'm thinking along, No, listen, magic is not real. Okay, pay attention. Now, the next one in line is Beaver, number 22. So that's an interesting message. We can't move on until we know, and that's just the truth. Beaver is the builder and is the doer in the animal kingdom. Beaver medicine is akin to water and earth energy, both, and incorporates a strong sense of family and home. If you were to look at the dams that block the streams, you would find several entrances and exits. In building his home, Beaver always leaves itself many alternative escape routes. If Beaver is upside down, has dunked its head under the water, you are being asked to open new doors of opportunity and to stay aware. This could also usher in a time of laziness or apathy. Now, see, Raven said, have you gotten into a rut and too much apathy? So here's the same thing. This could usher in a time of laziness or apathy. Find what is damming the flow of your energy and remove the impasse. And some questions to ask yourself. Have I forgotten to allow room in my life for new experiences? Have you cluttered up yourself and it can't get done? And, it's time to throw out some garbage so you can bring new stuff home. Do I express my creativity? Do I just dream about it? Meditate upon Beaver's determination and willingness to work and visualize a goal. And Raven, let's see. Yeah, the Raven is trying to tell you that you can't move on. And Beaver is telling you to get up off your dunk and do something about it, to learn what it is. Fox is number 25. And we got links in here too. It's a bunch of them here in this little spot. Fox is camouflage and is straight up. So Fox is seemingly able to vanish amidst the undergrowth. The ability to meld into the surrounding and be unnoticed is a powerful gift when one is observing the activities of others. Now's the time, that with all the changes in politics and presidents and all this other stuff, this is a good time to be camouflaged, and to watch what's going on, Another natural gift of Fox is the ability to adapt. Fox's ability to be unseen allows it to be the protector of the family unit. If Fox has chosen to share its medicine with you, it is a sign that you are to become like the wind, which is unseen, yet is able to weave into and through any location or situation. Much like clowns at the rodeo, Fox can keep the raging bull from stampeding a friend or a family member. Fox can use silly tactics as a brilliant camouflage. No one could guess the sly power behind such an ingenious maneuvers. And you say, Fox, what's camouflage got to do with this? Because as we move forward, we're going to be expected to teach other folks. Wolf is number 15. And as camouflaged individuals, we come out of the woodwork and teach folks about what's going on. We have to share this information, right? And guess what? Wolf is the teacher. That's the next card up. I swear to God. Teacher. Wolf is the pathfinder, the forerunner of new ideas, who returns to the clan to teach and share the medicine. Wolf takes, Wolf is loyal like dog. The qualities make Wolf very much like the human race. As humans, we also have the ability to be a part of society and yet still embody our individual dreams and ideas. The senses of Wolf are keen, and the moon is its power ally. If you've drawn Wolf's card, you may be able to share your personal medicine with others. So, see, we stay camouflaged with the Fox until it's time to share the medicine, and it's the knowledge that we have accumulated, and that in these days and times, it's necessary to share it with others when they need it. So, wait. Your intuitive side may also have an answer or teaching for your personal use at this time. As you feel Wolf coming alive within you, you may wish to share knowledge by writing or lecturing or just having conversation with folks. Wolf could also be telling you to seek out lonely places that will allow you to see your teacher within. Now, we just pulled a card that said, if you're in a rut, maybe you should get out of it. And it may be that also you need to clean the closet so you could bring in more energy to yourself. So here it is. So you might need just a little alone time, tell the kids to go to the neighbors and have a sleepover, whatever it is. And that, it's enough, especially if you do it with an intention. I got to clear my head. I'm going to, I can still go out and have a good time, or I can stay at the house and listen to music, but I'm going to clear my energy, and I'm going to allow myself to become the wolf and ask for that energy to clean out some of that stuff that, Raven's telling me to clean out. So Lynx is next. Number 18. And I can't remember. Secrets. So there are secrets that are going to be coming out. We know that's for true. And here shortly, stuff's going to be coming out. It is said that if you want to find out a secret, ask Lynx. Unfortunately, it's difficult to get the silent Lynx to speak. Lynx is the keeper of the secrets of lost magical systems and occult knowledge. Now, occult knowledge doesn't necessarily mean that you have to become a witch or a warlock or something in order to understand. Occult knowledge is just forgotten knowledge. Lost magical systems. You can sit with your back up against a tree and meditate. There's a lost system that's very easy. To talk to trees, to have, wild animals come up to you if you sit quietly in the woods. That's a lesson right there, because there are some people that could sit in the woods for a week and never have a wild animal come up. And then there are other people who could sit down for 10 minutes and chipmunks would be playing at their feet, and stuff like that. There's such a great difference. But anyway, Lynx is the keeper of the secrets of lost magical systems and knowledge. Lynx has the ability to move through time and space and to go into the great silence for unraveling any mystery. Lynx is not the guardian of the secrets, but the knower of the secrets. The problem lies in getting Lynx to instruct you. Lynx medicine is a very specific type of clairvoyance. And so with Lynx upside down, let's find out. If Lynx has appeared in the reverse, it is time to shut your big mouth. Something you are jabbering about has let the cat out of the bag. Are you defiling a secret trust, or have you broken a promise to a friend? If not, you may have pulled a good boner on yourself by blabbing your latest idea to a competitor. You might look at choosing to have your brain in gear before your babble starts, or your foot may have to replace your tongue. They become Lynx and wear the Mona Lisa smile. Only you will know what you're smiling about. So when you're asked to teach, make sure you don't stick your foot in your mouth, okay? That's what that card means. And last but not least is Buffalo. See, I'm going through these pretty quick. Whoop. Buffalo was the next card over. Wow, that's interesting. And Buffalo's right side up. And how appropriate. Buffalo is prayer and abundance. In the Lakota tradition, it was the white buffalo calf woman who brought the sacred pipe to the people and taught them to pray. The bowl of the pipe was the receptacle that held the tobacco. The stem of the pipe represented the male entering the female and seeding life. The connection to the divine energy with the Great Spirit was made. As the pipe was loaded with tobacco, every family in nature was asked to enter into the pipe and share its medicine. Now, that's important in this, in that all things are put into the pipe. Okay, that means all of us together, we're together in this. And share the medicine as prayer and praise to the heavens. All of us with our energies. The smoke is considered to be visual prayer and very sacred and cleansing. All animals are sacred, but in many traditions, the white buffalo is the most sacred. And there are several of them now. Buffalo was a major source of sustenance for the Plains Indians. It gave all things that the folks needed. And the medicine of buffalo is prayer, gratitude, and prayer and praise for that which has been received. So with all these other cards and all of these other things, we have to remember to say thank you for all of those things which we have received. To use buffalo medicine is to smoke the pipe in a sacred manner and to give praise for the richness of life to be shared with all races, all creatures, all nations, and all life. It means smoking for others so that their needs are met, praying for the good of all things in harmony, and accepting the great mystery as part of that harmony. Buffalo medicine is a sign that you achieve nothing without the aid of the Great Spirit, and that you must be humble enough to ask for that assistance when needed, and then be grateful for what you receive. That's some really cool medicine right there. Wow. But it took 6 cards. So the fox is saying, maybe stay camouflaged before it's necessary, but then Wolf is saying, teach it, baby. Beaver is talking about working together with family, and maybe because it's upside down, maybe you haven't worked with others, or maybe you need to learn to work with others for whatever the future holds. And Raven's kind of saying exactly that. Get out of the dang rut, clear your closet of stuff that isn't necessary anymore, and make room for good stuff to come in.
That's right.
I like them cards. I really like them cards. I like them cards.
Those were great cards.
I'm not bragging, but I like them cards. Wow, I like them cards.
They were good cards.
I was wondering when I picked up the dog card and the wolf card was right there with it, I was like, I didn't know which one to choose. And they were like, both of them. And I was like, okay. But it worked out. And the way I laid them out worked out. Dog came first. And then, so, wow, thank you.
Absolutely.
Always be grateful. So I'm very grateful for the opportunity to pull cards for y'all every week. And I'm grateful the fact that the spirits help me pull the cards, and that they mean what they mean, because it's usually it's always good medicine. It's always good something to look forward to. So anyway, and they are not Taro.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Now for the spiel of the day. Don't forget to go over to Nina's store. Link is in the description below. Nina, if you're in the thing, put the link in there, or I can. I think it's here. Here it is. Wait a minute, I got it. Anyway, go over to the store. Here's the link. Buy yourself some merch today, because guess what, everybody? It's got my mug on it. Look at this. You can buy a little mug. Look at it. It's got the Ana Karana and my smiling face. Look at that. Anyway, back. Here's the back. And it's got, you can buy yourself a coffee mug. And again, it's got my smiling face on there. And Ana Karana. So, and it says happy holidays. Great presents for people that you know. And you can also get the Nina's new stuff with the new logo on it, Nina the Mystic Truther. But my favorite, I've got a few of these, and it's already got my smiling face on there. And who wouldn't want an Ana Karana on it? So look at that. How big it, look at that. All right. And it says from Nina and Robert. Look at that. Happy holidays 24-24. Plus, there is shirts. She's got shirts. If I can get it to go back. Yeah, you too can get a shirt. And look at that. It is got Happy Holidays 2024 with my smiling face and the Anakarana from Nina and Robert. There you go. Look at that. Limited time. Get yours today. I just got to love it because I think everybody should have a shirt with my face on it. Don't you think? Why not?
Chase away the mice.
That's right. Chloe, yeah, good night, everyone, she says. There you go. Nina says, get festive. Oops. Yes, get festive with our new holiday merch. A giveaway or a treat for yourself. Why not? I got myself a couple coffee mugs. Why not? So there you go. Support the channels and enjoy a little bit like this. See, I even got a shirt that says Milky Way Soul Tribe on it. Come on, everybody. It's fun and it's a good cheap gift that people can use over and over and over and over and over. Why not? Anyway, with that, let's see. Lucky Stone says, have a great week. Yes, Lucky, get your internet fixed so that you can be on the show on Saturday. Anyway, peace. There you go. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. This was a great show with the pictures and stuff. We'll probably do it again since you guys liked it so much. Love going through the pictures from years and days gone by. We barely got touched on that. It's a lot of fun to go and see that kind of stuff. I mean, the magic of photography back then. And you got to remember, the people who took those pictures, they weren't carrying around a cell phone that would take a picture perfect. They had one of those big lugging cameras that they had to lug around and set it up probably. So be appreciative of all that. Thank you for everybody. To Smelly Fingas, I think that's how it's said. Yep, thank you for joining us tonight. I haven't seen you here before, and I hope you come back. Hey, go buy a shirt with my name on it. And there's Nina. Thank you, Nina. Thank you. And we will have a show on Sunday for Sunday Live, and we'll be talking about the Anunnaki and how the world, and then we're going to have a show on Thursday. The Thursday show will be on the Stupid Talk and Stupid Talk Daily News Network, where we're going to talk about all kinds of things that are going on, from the martial law called out in South Korea to Trump, Hunter Biden, and all that good stuff that you just want to talk about. You can't talk about on this channel because we don't want to get taken down. So go over there and check out the merch, things like that. So anyway, David, you got a Hawkeye special tonight?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, sounds good. So everybody go get yourself a cup of coffee and tune on over to David Null on his channel, and he'll probably be there in a little while, sooner or later, right?
Yeah, I got my fire almost went out in the stove, so I'm going to have to take a few minutes to get it going back. I got wood in the house, but we sat here and yacked for 2 hours, and I should have stopped halfway in between and thrown a couple logs on the fire there. But that's all right. So I'm going to have to tend the fire for a few minutes, and I don't know how long that'll take. It might take 10 minutes or it might take a half hour. So, But anyway, okay. So Dave's going to be tending fire until then.
Yep. Okay, I'm gonna look for. I think I got it in the description, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I got the link to the channel. Oh yeah, here we go. Oh, here we go. Yeah. I'll put the link up there in a second, everybody. There we go. Copy. And there you go. Here's the link. I'm pasting it right there. There you go. There's David's channel. You can tune in there in about a half hour. Go over there and subscribe to him. And then you'll get all the notifications, which you'll probably be putting up in about 10 minutes. And after you stoke the fire and get the house warmed back up, right?
Yep, before it gets too cold. Yep, because right now it's already 30 and falling. So, you know, it'll be into the 20s tonight. And I had no idea it was going to get quite this cold. But so, yeah, it's a good thing I got some wood cut.
Yep.
So, y'all, thank you all for tuning in tonight. Thanks for participating with us. We really do enjoy that. And we appreciate it, too. So please stay safe. Stay warm, for goodness sake. I've heard of a lot of people getting stuck on highways and roads and stuff. And they think they can get home, and then all of a sudden somebody slides on the road and goes sideways, and then the road gets closed. So, you know, be careful. It's not necessarily you, but there's other people who are just dumber than a box of rocks. So be careful for them folks.
Yeah. Remember, everybody, go out, do something nice for somebody else and yourself. That's really important, because you know what? The most important thing is you want to be the frequency you want to receive, everyone. Love you all. Peace, everybody.
Cheers.